Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Welcome to We Are Not a Rapist. Basically, we're not rapists, by the way. Yeah, the reason why we're saying this is, as you guys know, there was a short clip that was taken out of one of my reality videos, Reality 5. And basically, the accusation was that we were saying that, you know, just because a female is dressed up in a certain way, she wants to be touched up. And let's watch the clip first, inshallah, which we're talking about.
It's the command of Allah. On the flip side, if you go and you see a chick who's not dressed in a abaya, you see her dressed kind of skimpy, and she can say that she has a hijab in her heart and an iman in her heart, respectfully, we know that everyone has their own struggle, so they take their own steps towards getting higher, inshallah. But that girl, if you go up to her and you try to chirp her, or try to touch her up, and if she says to you, no, don't touch me, but it's like you're wearing the uniform of a chick that wants to be touched up though. You're wearing the uniform of a chick that basically I want to draw right now.
Yeah. But we're going to touch up on the reality 6 because I'm doing it specifically on this topic.
Okay.
So guys, as you have seen for yourself, and I'm sure you guys are shocked and thinking, brother Imran, you know, why would you say such a thing? You know, so we want to clarify the matter for you guys once and for all, and then we want to come to why these people started this accusation. But before I go into that, obviously I want to give it to brother Imran for him to explain why he said what he said.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, I trust you're well. So before I go on to explain what I was saying and, you know, whatever have you with regards to the clip, I just want to highlight some of the accusations that the people are making, bro. One of the things that they were saying was that we're encouraging and facilitating rape, and they were also saying that we're saying and we're trying to justify that it's okay for sisters to be touched up or girls to be touched up who are dressed in a way that is immodest in accordance to Islamic dress. Yeah? And I just wanted to go out and say, I'm really shocked and quite surprised that this accusation can be coming from Muslims, especially those that are familiar with the work that me and Brother Ali do. Let me explain to you what I mean. You see, we have always advocated and told people that when it comes to, you know, a woman who is dressed in a way where she may be dressed in a revealing way or whatever have you, then brothers should lower their gaze. Now, what on earth does this have to do with us encouraging, rather discouraging people to touch up women? You see, brothers and sisters, in Surah An-Nur, when Allah commands the believing men to lower their gaze, He directly then connects it to it being a means of protecting their private parts, their chastity being protected, their private parts being protected. So Allah said, if you lower your gaze, guys, automatically what will happen as a result is you will not do any sins with your private parts, whether that be fornication or whether that be rape, which is one step higher than fornication. The reason for this is, brothers and sisters, because no one ever committed zina with a woman or raped her except that he looked at her first, meaning he liked what he saw or whatever have you, and then he decided to pursue that either in, you know, fornication through consent,
no matter what she was looked like, half naked, niqab, hijab. Yeah,
exactly. Because if you look, the highest, sexual harassment statistics come from Egypt, where most women are covered. So even if you are a covered woman, it's not like we're saying, you know, you can look at women who are covered and not who are uncovered. You can't look here either, bro, because either way it could lead to sexual harassment. You see what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is that if we're telling people lower your gaze, and that will be a means of protecting them from falling into greater sin, how on earth can you be actually going out there and saying that we're actually saying it's okay to touch up a woman who's not dressed appropriately, when we're saying if a sister's not dressed appropriately, forget touching her, look down, don't even look towards her.
And not only this clip that you showed of you saw the accusation that we've been following is Reality 5. Right after is Reality 6, which we cover the topic of convertible hijab. We discuss men's hijab, sisters that dress up revealing, sisters that dress up, the whole khimar hijab thing. Over there, the clip that I'm going to play right now for you guys.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yep.
Okay, what about some sisters come and say, for example, God, Allah SWT has told us to dress up because men can't lower their gaze. Is that the case, or is that...
Okay, so a lot of the times, a lot of you, like you said, a lot of sisters will say that, why do I have to wear hijab just because men can't lower the gaze? Because it's just like thirsty animals or something, right? Why is it that I have to wear the hijab anyway? Well, here's the thing, right? If it was the case, right, that women had to cover themselves because men can't lower the gaze, you would have seen in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have said, women, cover your head because men can't lower the gaze. But that's not the case.
So that's not the case in the Quran.
That's not the case in the Quran.
Okay, right.
It's a wrong mentality that a lot of people have today.
So this clip that you just watched is from Reality 6. Now, if that's going to contradict what we're doing in Reality 5, because in Reality 6, we're clearly saying that Allah ordered for men to lower your gaze. So for us to say, hold on a second, it's a woman's fault for the way she's dressing up, and then we turn around in Reality 6 and say the opposite, we're contradicting ourselves. So the message wasn't that anyway. But fortunately, certain people who have diseases in their heart, you know, which I'm going to come to in a minute, but I would want you to finish off, inshallah.
Well, see, Akhi, the thing is, I believe that some people do have diseases in their heart and they're trying to look for faults. But then at the same time, I do believe that there were some people who were sincere.
Yes.
And I can see how my words, they weren't the best picked words, Akhi.
Yes.
And, you know, I have to be honest with myself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that be just in truth, even if it's against yourself. And I have to admit, brothers and sisters, after serious personal reflection, advice from brothers like Ali, my own teacher, who actually gave me a bit of stick for it tonight as we discussed it with him, I have to say that I didn't choose my words correctly. But I wasn't intending it. But I just do want to say, put out there, like, you know, wallahi al-azim, brothers and sisters, look, I'm not a person that goes out there and apologizes for brownie points. I've said more controversial things that people are even more angry and upset at me for, and I refuse to take it back, because if it's the truth, I'll say it. But I can see in hindsight that those words, I could have put them together better.
What did you mean by that?
Okay, so let me explain to him what I meant, right? So remember, it was only a short clip, and you know they missed the whole context of the video. What me and Ali were actually talking about was saying that when we were not trying to explain the woman's intent, saying that the woman intends by dressing in this way for men to be invited towards her. Rather, what we were trying to say is, what is the men's intent when they approach women? Not all, but a lot and the majority of men, and a lot of research has been shown to back this up, that when men approach women, they think in a certain way. They have a certain animalistic kind of intent. So I was saying that if a man approaches a woman, I didn't say it this clearly, but if you go back and listen, you can see it in the context of me saying, if a guy comes up to a girl, and he tries to, you know, chirps her and touch her up if she's dressed in a way that he perceives to be immodest or revealing or, you know, slutty, quote unquote, then actually that man, if the woman then is like, as they would say, stush with him, like, get away from me, I don't want to talk to you, then in that man's mind, he's thinking, you're dressed in a way that you're inviting yourself to be touched up. Because I'm telling you, that's the way that men think. And you know what, brothers and sisters, I'm a guy. Ali's a guy. Like I said, not all guys. I know there's some brothers who are really upset and just, you know, they felt like, you know, why are you painting us all with the same brush? Guys, it's a general statement. And, you know, wallahi al-azim, any guy who actually, well, rather most guys who, pretty much any guy who doesn't agree with me when I say this is either insincere or just really, 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 really naive, akhi. We all have male friends. We know what men are like. If they see a sister, if they see a girl who's dressed in a way that she's revealing or seen to be slutty, then, bro, they have one intent and one intent only, bro. You know what I'm saying? They want to go touch her up, and then this is what guys say. They say if she's stush, if she doesn't, you know, cooperate in that way, then he's like, well, why are you coming out dressed like that? Then that's and that's what I was trying to tell you, is that's how guys speak. Now, before I pass it. And think, right? So, you know, I do apologize if it came across like that. But my sisters, come on, man, I wouldn't. No,
but the thing is, what I want to say is this, yeah. Even if you, like, for example, the words came out wrong. If somebody doesn't have a disease in their heart, if somebody thinks the best of us, which a lot of sisters did, like when I mean a lot of sisters, this was on Twitter, a lot of people defending, saying, look, I'm sure they didn't mean it like that. But for some reason, what I want to touch up on is a lot of people have hate towards us. We don't know why, yeah? There might be stuff we've done before. We don't know what it is, yeah? They don't like us. Now, what you need to understand is, this is what's really sad, because you are out there, you guys are out there, and you're looking for, you're literally dying to find Ali Dawa, Imran, or Brother Musa. How can I catch them out? So you're in the spy mode. And Allah says in the Quran in chapter 49 verse 12, indeed negative assumptions is a sin. Do not spy on one another. So the fact that you're out there and thinking, you know what, how can I catch them out? And then somebody comes up with this video and goes, there you go. That shows that you have a disease in your heart. You shouldn't blame us. You should have thought the best of us and think, you know what? These brothers do these videos, etc., etc. They talk a lot highly of sisters, you know, because not that we want your brownie points, we speak the haq. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Knowing that, you should have thought the best and thought, you know what? Maybe they didn't mean it like that. Let's ask them. Instead, we've had individuals who are posting these videos on Twitter and blocking me and you, so we can't even clarify the matter. Do you know that on Twitter they were blocking us? So what we want to say is, We want to thank the people that didn't think the bad of us, assume the best of us. And for those that hate us, look, take the hate out of your heart. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Don't try to spy on us. We just want the best for our brothers and sisters, and we do the best to clarify that matter. So that's what I wanted to say, to be honest.
No, akhi, Jazakallah khair, man. Just to add to that, you know, a lot of people, they believe something in their heart first.
Yes.
And then they look for the evidence to prove themselves wrong. And they've already believed, you know, oh, brother Imran's like this, or brother Ali's like that. Sisters, like, brothers, honestly, man, like, I gave my life to be able to communicate a certain message to you guys for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I put my reputation on the line. I put everything. I put my izzah on the line. You know, I mean, we do this for the sake of Allah, only so you can find some kind of benefit. And then, you know, for us to be accused, to be saying it's okay to rape girls, like, that's not nice.
No,
And just coming back to the fact that I made a mistake and I've made many other mistakes. And Brother Ali, I just want to mention, you know, like, I was speaking to a sheikh who, you know, is a mentor of mine very recently, and he was just genuinely making a point that saying, you know, like, most speakers on average, they make about 3 mistakes every half an hour. Per half an hour, they're going to make 3 mistakes. Because remember, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who speaks in absolute perfection. When He speaks in the Quran, He doesn't make any mistakes. We as human beings, we make all sorts of mistakes, right? So he said, you know, people are always attacking speakers and brothers and sisters who are in the da'wah and make videos. He goes, every half an hour, you're going to make 3 mistakes. Then imagine a person who's making videos every day, teaching hours and hours and hours. Every half an hour, he's accumulating 3 mistakes on average, bro. So brothers and sisters, I have many mistakes, but that's part of being human, right? But I'm more than happy to clarify my mistakes and accept my mistakes, like I am in this video, that I didn't choose my words correctly, and I've not been one to shy away from apologizing in the past, you know, and I'm more than happy to do that again. So in the future, please just approach us in a nice way.
Yeah,
But
it's like, to be honest, don't want to long it out. It's very clear. The people that have a disease in their heart and hate us, you can carry on, because the fact is, even with this video, I guarantee you, they will find something with it. You know, like Ibn Taymiyyah says, like, some people are like flies. You know, they avoid the good places and land on bad places. You know, they never see any good from an individual. And like I said before, most likely they will pick up something from what you said. For example, as you was explaining that, they will probably cut it and put it up there. Do you get it? For us, we've done a job. We just wanted to make this video to clarify the matter, because I know Imran didn't mean that. I wouldn't release the video knowing Imran has that mentality to say that. It goes against our belief of what we do in the dawah. It totally goes against it. So that's about it. I really don't want to long it. I don't know if you want to.
Let's just quickly to conclude it. What it comes back down to is, like, I was just thinking, you know, when someone accuses you of saying that, you know, you're okay with rape or whatever, man, like when you know, like, all our work is about sisters. Like Allah said in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الْإِخْوَةِ. The believers are our family, brothers and sisters. Sister, whether you wear hijab or not, whether you smoke weed or not, whether you go clubbing or not, whether you drink or not, like, sister, you're my sister. And whether you hate me or not, or whether you think to yourself that, you know, I hate these brothers, wallahi, I tell you one thing, sister, wallahi, we love you for the sake of Allah. Wallahi, we love you for the sake of Allah. And we'll carry on doing whatever it is that we can to post up as much advice as we can and make as much praise for you guys as we possibly can, because wallahi, we care for you. It comes from a sincere place, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one to judge. And to not long it out, just to end, the whole point of the previous video that everyone was criticizing and moved away from the main objective, and I want to bring it back in this, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Al-Hayy, He's the one who is most modest. He set the boundaries and the rules and the regulations for what is modesty. You know, we shouldn't go out there and say that women are wear hijab, or women are told to wear hijab, and, you know, men and women are told to be modest so as to not fall into zina, so as to not tempt the other person, so as to not do this, that and the other, even though those may be sub-branches of it. But the reason why women wear hijab and, you know, we observe modesty and don't tempt each other and don't try to touch each other up is for one reason only, because Allah said so. And that's it. It's the command of your master. And you get closer to Allah through it, and you shield yourself from His displeasure. You get closer towards working towards paradise, and you move yourself away from the hellfire. So, brothers and sisters, the original point is, it's about obedience to Allah, getting close to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no matter what day and age we live in, the Quran came relevant to all times and societies. We'll leave it there, inshallah. I just ask if brothers and sisters could share this video, especially if they knew anyone who was, upset with our video or misunderstood, or anyone who needs clarification. I really would ask you to please go out your way and pass it to them. In the meantime, Jazakumullahu khairun, Barakallahu feekum, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The mention of the hijab is mentioned for the sisters, right? And we're going to discuss that later. But what is mentioned for the brothers? What are their, it's obligatory. What has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, ordered them to do?
Okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, amma ba'd. So, if you go into Surah An-Nur, right? In those two specific ayat which speak about the men and the women, where it talks about the men lowering the gaze and the women, covering themselves, we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He basically commands the men to lower their gaze, right?
Okay.
But the word that's used is ghada, okay? And it's kind of like a soft kind of look, right? When you're not doing like a hard stare like this.
Okay.
You're not
Like
staring
the
hard.
first gaze, yeah?
Yeah, it's like, the first, when you just like look at something and you just like